Good evening, beautiful people, and happy Wednesday. I hope you're all well, and I hope you're good. Just popped onto a video now. Been asked a few questions about how I got into writing and a bit more about my story. I've done numerous videos on YouTube and on TikTok about my journey and what actually happened, but I can do another brief one for you, give you a rough idea, and just give you some ideas as to why I've gone and wrote several books that I've done, which helped me get everything out of there onto here. So here we go. First things first. Now, about two and a half years ago, I had a massive breakdown, and I nearly took my own life. I got myself into a place where I got lost, didn't know what to do with myself, hated who I was, just gave up in general. Couldn't open up, all the stigma around it, everything. I was just so scared to talk about it. So it led to me being put into a mental health hospital. I stayed there for over 20 days. I then came out. I lost everything. I lost my marriage and everything. I came out. I went to a shared accommodation for 7 months, where basically, you know, it was hard not seeing my kids every morning. It was hard just trying to find myself and start again and work out what to do, really. And people keep asking me this question, you know, how do you do it? Mainly for my kids is what I've done it for. My kids are my world, and they are one of the reasons why I keep doing what I'm doing. And my beautiful family, my sisters, my friends, and some wonderful people I also met on social media become part of my family as well. And I kept going. I journaled. I'm dyslexic, and a friend of mine told me, why don't you try coloured paper? Never heard of it before. And I tried coloured paper. I went to blue, and I found out that I could write and the letters didn't move. Now, for years I had issues with dyslexia. I used to get frustrated because I couldn't write down what I wanted to write, and I ended up being quite loud and frustrated in school and stuff like that, and you know, it didn't really help. But the frustration was that I couldn't write down. I had so many ideas, but I couldn't get them out. So I started journaling. I went to different men's groups to see, you know, mental health groups, see if I could find somewhere where I could possibly, you know, open up and talk about my journey. I did meet a couple of people, and they told me their story, and I kind of realised that people liked talking to me, and I then felt comfortable about sharing it, but I shared it in a different way. I started sharing it through books. I started talking more to people. I spent a long time like journaling turned into books. So my first book had to be done. It's time to open up, not man up. Now, again, it's about all the things men don't like talking about, all the things that I found difficult and why we possibly do it, and possibly what to help you going forward. Like open up can actually do for you. You know, this is what I've done. Since then, I have now gone on to write about healing, which I'm still going through. You don't heal overnight. Healing takes time. Healing is an eye-opener. It can be lonely. People might think you're being selfish, but it's not. It's necessary. You've got to figure out what you want. You've got to figure out what you want. This is the hardest thing. You never ever seem to figure out what you actually want. You've been a people pleaser. You keep quiet to keep everyone happy. No, you've got to do what's right for you. And that's what healing is all about. And start recognising that some things that you think are good for you possibly ain't anymore. Them things are holding you back. Might be people holding you back. Probably yourself holding you back, you know. So I wrote about it, because I probably stopped myself from expressing myself properly. I used to go and create things. I was good at telling stories and making people feel like, oh, well, like, you know, things with all this, like, were true and this, that and the other. I thought, what am I doing? Why am I creating a world that's not real? Start writing about it. And that's what I did. I started journaling, and from that come the books. Now I've got books about grief. Obviously, I lost my parents, which played a massive part in my mental health breakdown, losing my mum and dad. And obviously, my wife at the time had a miscarriage of twins, which is something that, again, hurt me more than I realised. But, you know, you learn these things as you go along. Since then, obviously, I've wrote other books about trauma. I'm doing books about relationships and connection. But my ultimate dream is to be a kids author. I've got a book called The Soul Library, which is one of my favourite books. I love that book. And this is a trilogy book, The Sky Painter's Apprentice. I've got the other two nearly finished, and I've actually now got a proper publisher which starts in the summer, so fingers crossed all that goes well. But why I write is to stop me getting in a place where I keep overthinking and I keep worrying about things and playing out different scenarios in my head. And we've all done it, and it's bloody hard work, because sometimes you make that scenario so real that you're scared to meet that person, go for that interview, make that phone call. Some things are actually going to help you, but your brain is so connected to protecting you because you're so used to running away or, you know, backing away before you get hurt sometimes. That's me, you know. Get too close, I think I'm going to hurt or lose someone, I pull back, and, you know, it's all in there. When you write it down, you read it back, and you keep writing it down daily, you read it back, it starts to help you, and you start to understand your patterns, and you work out your triggers. That's important. Work out what your triggers are, you know. It might be a place, it might be a smell, it could be, you know, a word, you know, it could be the most maddest things that can start you off. But if you write it all down, remember them things, it's there for you then, isn't it? You know, it will help you. It's like a coping mechanism. Coping mechanisms, you know, you need them too. Go for a walk, you know, play a bit of music. You need to find your anchor. You've got to find that thing that grounds you. It could be so many things, and I recommend you try all sorts till you find that one thing that makes you just, you know, more often than not, when you start overthinking, just breathe and think about what's actually going on and what you can control and what you can't control. Put it in a little box. Right, I can't do nothing about that, but I can do this. Try and reason with yourself. That's what I do. Write it down and focus on what is actually going on, because we all do it. I mean, I have wobbles, we're all going to have wobbles. It doesn't go away. It's something, you know, that stays with us. But I'm trying to say to you, you need to realise that sometimes all these things go in your head, something ain't even happening yet. You're just looking at every worst case scenario, especially when you've gone through a lot of stuff. You've gone through loss, grief, you know, gone through addiction, all these things, they spin around your head, and it's constant. It's so hard to get out of your head, you know. So write it down, because when it's in there and you put it out there, a good friend of mine, a really good friend of mine told me, whatever's in there, put it down on there. Now I can write on blue paper. I can write books, and I can describe things and actually help people. I'm helping myself by describing what I feel, you know. And if my book just helps one person, that's job done, you know. So remember, the reason I started writing books, I just found it by accident, by having the blue paper, realising I could actually write on it without worrying about the letters moving. It seems to engage my brain more because of the colour. That's what I think it does anyway. But this little video for you, not little, it's nearly 8 minutes, little podcast, but I thought I'd just share it with you. Big love, people. Have a wonderful Wednesday and take care of yourself.